Dude. We got our own intro music.
We certainly do. Good evening and welcome. We're back. You are tuned in and watching the Zone Blitz by NFL Female. We're back. We're better than ever. We are joined by our new co-host. We are now the fabulous trio. It is Sonya, Sharona, and Kat, so we're very excited about that. We're back and better than ever before. I am Sharona. This is the Zone Blitz. We come to you every Tuesday night, again, by NFL Female, www.nflfemale.com. We've got a big show for you guys, so we're going to jump right into it. Lots to talk about. NFL training camps are back. Football is back. How exciting is that? So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to my fabulous co-host Sonya to get everybody going.
Hi everybody, I'm Sonya. I am the official fan reporter for NFL Female for the Detroit Lions, the pride of the Honolulu Blue and Silver. And I am so excited to have with us tonight our friend, our brother here at NFL Female, Russell. Russell, welcome. And we are glad to have you on. We'll get you in just a second. But first, I want to give a nice, warm welcome. And we are so glad to have our sister, Kat. Kat, hello. Tell everybody hi. Tell them where you're from, who you rep, all that good stuff.
All right. Currently talking to you from D.C., but I was originally born in Metairie, Louisiana, so I'm proud to represent the Who Dat Nation for the Saints.
Awesome. We are so glad to have you on. We are so glad to have a third person with us. This is going to be awesome. I think we're back and we're better than ever.
Yes.
So this is going to be great. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started with our good friend, Brother Russell, here at NFL Female. He is our football guru and known to most of you all as the football guru. So welcome. Thanks for coming to join us tonight, Russell. Football's back.
Well,
yay!
Congratulations on your new partnership here. I don't know whether to refer to you as the Nina the Pinta de Santa Maria.
I like that.
Or you could be NFL Female's Destiny's Child.
We could be.
We could be.
Charlie's
Three
Angels.
Singers. There you go. They are three singers. I've heard you all sing, whether you know it or not.
Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. That's great. That is great. So what have you got for us tonight, Russell? Russell knows, I think he's a walking encyclopedia of football facts. And if you haven't already followed him on Twitter, please do so. It's Bax Football Guru. Follow him because he's got a wealth of knowledge. What stuff do you have for us about preseason?
Well, what's interesting is as I get ready to make my trip out to Canton, and I'll see some of you out there, and I've been going out there pretty regularly since 1989. The first year I went to Canton, and just to tell you how things have changed out there, the ceremony was held on the steps at the Hall of Fame. Small crowd in front of the steps, was not on live television. The Pro Football Hall of Fame game was then in the afternoon, about 2:30 in the afternoon on Saturday, and you now see how this has developed over the years. As far as the preseason goes, I always have just one preseason nugget, because the thing you have to keep in mind about preseason is sometimes results kind of mean something, scores mean nothing. Okay, and I know why Sonya's laughing, because there was a year in which the Detroit Lions were undefeated in the preseason and then went 0-16 in the regular season.
Preseason champs, baby.
But I will give you one interesting factoid that I've always kind of hung on to. There have been 49 Super Bowl champions, and only one went winless during the preseason and went on and won the Super Bowl the same year.
Who was it?
That was the 82 Washington Redskins. And the little bit of an asterisk in there is the fact that that was a 9-game season because of the strike.
Yes.
So they won the Super Bowl. So if you took it, a step further, you don't want to lose all your preseason games. I don't know why the stat holds up the way it is. It's just one of those things. That's more of a coincidental stat than anything else. But as we're getting ready to see here on Sunday, the Steelers and the Vikings are going to be those two teams that play 5 preseason games. Now, for people who think that's a lot, I'm older, not old. So I go back to the days of the 14-game schedule, okay, instead of 16. In those years, teams played 6 preseason games, okay? And if you were the defending Super Bowl champions at that time, you actually played a 7th preseason game. And back in the day, and they discontinued the game in 1976, the defending Super Bowl champion would play a group of college all-stars.
Oh, wow.
And they would play the game in Chicago at Soldier Field. And the Steelers were playing there one year in 76, and there was a torrential rainstorm in the third quarter of the game. They pulled everybody off the field, and that was the end of the series between the All-Stars and defending Super Bowl champion.
See, I think that's cool. I wish they'd still do.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool too, but I mean, in the day and age now with the draft the way it is, and I mean, you'd be playing against guys that you'd be playing against eventually. But the point more was, can you imagine, football, if you're a football team and you play, let's just say you play 21 games in a year, and 1/3 of them didn't count. You played 7 games. So, I mean, for instance, what's really funny is you go back to like the 75 Steelers. Went on and won their second Super Bowl that year. They played 7 preseason games. They played 14 regular season games, and they played 3 postseason games. Do the math. That's 24 games in 1 year.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot.
That's a lot. And that's why when you hear people talk about the 18-game schedule, they'll pare the preseason down to 2 games. So there's not going to be 4 preseason games and 18 regular. And I think the way football is more year-round now, with training camps, and you have mini camps, you have maxi camps, you have panda camps, you have quarterback camps, you got rookie camps. It's more a full-time job than it was before free agency. Yeah. So I think if you played 2 preseason games and you played them a little more harder than they do. See, to me, preseason is bizarre. Okay? Your first preseason game, the starters play what, about 10 minutes?
If that.
The second preseason game, they probably play a quarter or maybe a half. The third preseason game, they play about 3 quarters. And then the fourth preseason game, they don't play at all.
Yeah. Right.
Wonder why the football is a little sloppy early in September, because their timing is all off. So I think if you went into an 18-game schedule and you played the preseason a little more seriously, I think I think the football itself would be better. But I mean, you know how football is now. If you sneeze on somebody, it's 15 yards.
That is true. That is very
God
much.
bless you.
And another 5 yards because you offended somebody with that. But that's another story.
Sonya with the boom. Mic drop. Mic drop.
Exactly.
Mic drop is 15 yards as well. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let's not have any group mic drops, because that would really be bad.
Exactly. We'd all have to pay a fine, and I don't make that much. Well, that's good. That's a lot of good preseason info. My original question was...
Listen, Sonya, when you're watching the preseason, you're really kind of watching the newcomers.
Yeah.
To me, you're not necessarily focusing on the stats. You're kind of watching how the rookies fit in. It's kind of like, do they look comfortable? I mean, one guy who jumped off the screen to me last year was Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay? Again, it's only the preseason. Again, he's, as it turned out, he might be the starter for the first 4 games this year. But when you watch Jimmy Garoppolo play last year during the preseason, he acted or looked like he had been there before. Okay? He didn't look nervous. He didn't look jittery. He didn't look overwhelmed. Again, you're only watching it on TV, so you're trying to. But that, I think, is the thing to point out. And I think that's what you try to. Everybody's going to try to figure out, especially with Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota this year. Are they going to be able to, for lack of a better word, fool everybody into thinking they know what they're doing? Okay, right. And I say that with respect, because there's no way they can know what they're doing right from the get-go. Though, isn't it interesting that the very first game of the year we're going to see Jameis Winston versus Marcus Mariota. The Buccaneers open up with Tennessee, which is automatically a rematch from last year's college playoff game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That'll be an interesting game to watch, and who will be the better rookie?
Yes, and that's the funny thing for me to week one. Fans in week one after week one is almost hysterical to me, because there will be 16 fan bases that will swear their team is going undefeated, and there will be 16 fan bases that will swear that their team is playing for the number 1 overall pick. A lot of NFL fans are so extreme. I can't believe it's 7-0. Oh, it's going to be a long year. You know? That's it.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
And that's the fun. I understand that's the fun of it and all that. So I guess that's what makes Twitter fun now, right?
Exactly. That's totally what makes Twitter fun. And especially the fact that
don't you think they should change Twitter to just venting.com?
No.
Yes, venting. That's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, you'll be sitting on Twitter and someone go, "Oh my goodness, that was a strike." What? What?
No, it wasn't.
That's like listening to the game on the radio and say, "Oh, that was a bad call."
You weren't there.
Exactly.
But that's one of the fun things about Twitter is watching a live event, whether it's a live sporting event on TV or a television show or something, an important press conference. Those are the things that make Twitter so much fun. Outside of them,
No, there's no doubt about it. If you know how to do it on Twitter in terms of relaying the information and not getting overly emotional and passionate, I mean, when you get a tweet that says, "Oh my goodness," what do you do with that? Okay? Like, you have people out there they're almost like a skill of play-by-play, being able to describe what's going on in 140 characters. There's some people out there that you can follow during it, like Sharona said about like a press conference, who can really sum up the press conference like 7 or 8 or 9 tweets, and you get all the information that you want. But then, of course, you get, "I can't believe he did that." What?
Right. Exactly.
What, did someone drop a soda?
No, nobody dropped a soda. But they wore this. Another fun thing, award shows. I haven't watched an award show in a long time because thanks Twitter, I don't have to, because you guys tell me everything, and I love it.
Well, listen,
it's the best way to watch an award show.
I take it even a step further. Like, if you're watching a game and someone goes down, okay, if you're looking for a doctor, every one of them's on.
They all rush in.
All on Twitter. Torn ACL, torn MCL, out for the season, requires surgery, you name it. I mean, if you're ever in a spot, if you need a doctor or a lawyer, every one of them is on Twitter.
Yep.
And there's millions of them.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I remember after the Aaron Hernandez whole thing went down, somebody tweeted out, "Uh-oh, here comes Law and Order, Twitter." And
oh yeah. Well, my favorite one to do those is if someone gets hurt, and obviously you don't ever want to see anybody get hurt.
Right.
I'll just put, here come the doctors in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here comes what's wrong with the Jets in 3, 2, 1.
Exactly, and I'm sure Saints fans will be doing that this year with the first interception that Drew Brees throws, or
I promise you, after Drew Brees' first interception, I will tweet, "Damn it, Brees, it's time to retire." I promise you. And then he'll throw an amazing touchdown, and I'll be like, "That's my boy. That's my boy." So I am guilty of the absurdity. I full on admit my live tweets can come across slightly sketchy.
But here's the difference, Kat. At least you acknowledge that he threw an interception. When someone tweets, "I can't believe he did that," Listen, got 140 characters. Can you slip in a few more details?
You're like, it's Drew Brees. He either threw a 60-yard touchdown pass or he was absurdly intercepted, and it was a disaster.
Well, the Saints are an interesting team this year because, as I have said on a couple of shows, they pulled like a Miami Marlins this year, or the Florida Marlins. They trade Jimmy Graham. They trade Ben Grubbs. They trade Kenny Stills. Okay?
She's still having a hard time with it. Go easy.
Yeah, you covered the team. Is it true that they traded Emeril Lagasse?
Oh!
Bam!
Yeah, burn.
It's like when I talk about Philadelphia. The only person that Chip Kelly hasn't gotten rid of is William Penn, and that's because he's a statue on top of City Hall. So,
but I'm sure he's working on deals.
Yes.
I'm sure
it could
he's
be.
taking offers.
And it's funny. Of all the trades, the guy I think they're going to miss a lot in New Orleans, who I think is one of the most underrated running backs in the league, is Pierre Thomas.
Yeah, that one, I'm honestly not sure who's filling his shoes. I mean, Mark Ingram, I truly, there were some moments last season where Mark Ingram, you're just like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for.
Oh, absolutely. Mark Ingram is a runner. I think you miss Pierre Thomas. Do you know what's funny? When Reggie Bush was there and Pierre Thomas was there, Reggie Bush was the kind of guy you always wanted to get in space on a screen pass.
Yes.
But when you got Pierre Thomas in space, he didn't need any space on a screen pass, Pierre Thomas.
Yeah.
He'd run people. I mean, I thought he was even the place. I mean, go back to the Super Bowl against the Colts. He made something out of nothing and turned it into a. I think he's just a really underrated player. By the way, it sounds like Houston's going to take a look at him.
I mean, I hope he.
With Arian Foster being maybe sidelined for a long time now.
That's a blow. That's a blow to the Texans. Oh.
Absolutely, yeah. Oof.
But hopefully his won't be season ending. I don't think, right?
They don't anticipate
like
it being, but it sounds like he could be headed to surgery, and it sounds like from what you read, he could be headed to IR with maybe a not for season-ending IR.
Yeah,
but that's a big blow.
Yeah.
He ran 1246 last year in only 13 games. I mean, he's a truck. He's a truck.
Yeah.
I think Houston could be an intriguing team this year, but that's a big blow for them.
At his age and with the injury history piling up, they might as well not count on him. I mean, hamstrings, the quad, those injuries are hard to come back from, and it is interesting that no one has taken a look at Pierre Thomas yet. So that's interesting, and there's some other guys out there. Well,
Chris Johnson is still out there. Steven Jackson is still out there. Supposedly, Steven Jackson's trying to, draw some interest. He's trying to draw some interest from the Dallas Cowboys. Darren McFadden's banged up again.
Yeah.
As he was most of his career with the Oakland Raiders. But I was surprised. Pierre Thomas. I've done several of my pieces on Bleacher Report about available free agents, and I've kind of mystified why nobody has picked him up. But I think that just kind of adds to his underrated status.
I think he's definitely. I think a lot of people are missing out on the sort of guy. It's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. He's getting those yards. He's a guarantee you're getting a first down with him. So I think if whoever picks him up is lucky. He's a hell of a back, and I miss him.
Yeah, I think he was. I was. A lot of people thought he might be somebody the Patriots might grab, although the Patriots wind up signing Travis Cadet. But I think that's because he can also help out on kickoff returns as well. Cadet is a pass catcher. I mean, New England's got to fill that void of Shane Vereen, not so much as a running back, but as a receiver. People, let's not anyone forget the 11 catches that Shane Vereen had in the Super Bowl. He didn't have a ton of yards, but he was the bailout guy.
Yep. So it's got a lot of interest this year. I think
it's nice to actually talk about the game and
exactly.
As I said to somebody earlier today, just remember it's a game of inches. It's not a game of square inches.
No, you're right. Very much so. Inches and inches.
I've heard enough
everything.
about hot air this off season to.
Exactly.
It is what it is. So.
It is. And
but I guess I will see two of you in the next couple of days?
Sounds
Sharona,
like it.
Sharona, you're coming to Canton?
I'm still not sure yet, but I don't. The odds of me making it are probably pretty slim at this point. But
Oh, can you give me better? Because I have you in Vegas. I bet the under.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to make it if I can.
All right.
Okay.
And Kat, you're not coming, right?
I started a new job, so no vacation yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those, and Sonya was, Sharona was there last year. When we got a chance to meet each other. And just as a one final note, if you are a football fan or a football writer and you haven't made the trip, even if it's not the week of the Hall of Fame, it's definitely a must see.
It really is.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a great trip.
Yeah.
It is. It is. We drove.
I'll tell you one quick personal story. Joe Horgan, who's one of the big components at the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure you've seen him interviewed on NFL Films and all that. I met Joe a long time ago. He's a great guy. And my brother went on the Clark Griswold vacation where he visited basically every state. He took 9 weeks off with his kids while they were young. Now both of his kids are married. And took them, and their first stop was Canton for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
And Joe actually toured them personally.
Nice.
Very cool.
It's 20-something years ago now. But it was a great thrill,
awesome.
and the hall has expanded so much more now ever since then, and so on. But it'll be fun, and it'll be great to see you out there, Sonya. And yes, I know Jennifer's not coming, and she's all upset because I'm making meatballs.
Meatballs!
Yes, meatballs, which she has absolutely humiliated me on Twitter about meatballs. But they'll be, we're at Kate's house in Cleveland, and it'd be great to see you all. And by the way, keep up doing the job that you guys are doing.
Oh, thanks,
Russell.
Drawing a lot of attention.
Thank you. We
Russell.
appreciate that.
Yes,
You're
we
welcome.
really, really do.
All right,
Ah.
I got your check, by the way. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good.
Good. Very good. Cash it
Cash
after
it
Friday, okay?
Well, it might bounce, but I'll cash it. So, but also, like I said, I'll see you guys soon, and I'll be doing, just so you know, between Bleacher Report, but mostly NFL Spin Zone, I'll be doing quite a few pieces on the Hall of Fame, especially one that is very personal to me. I've had the privilege of knowing and for a long time working with Tom Jackson. He's one of my best friends, and he is getting the Pete Rozelle Television Radio Award from the Hall of Fame this year.
Awesome.
And as great as he is on television, 10 times the person. So
That's awesome.
Oh, that's very cool.
That's a big thrill for me to see that out there. I worked with Chris Berman for a long time too. He got the award 5 years ago. But like I said, Tommy's a great guy, and he's loved by a lot of people, and I'm really excited for him and his family. So
That will be awesome.
That'll be great. That'll be really, really good.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And if you think I look young for my age, Tommy's the best. I mean, he's such a kid at heart. I've never met anybody who is gregarious and outgoing as he is. He's a great person. I love him to death.
Well, what a great
That's
thing.
so cool. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
I've led a very charmed life, meeting the people I've met, and I continue to do so. So that was in reference to you three, okay?
Aw.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Russell.
Well,
You're
thank
the
you very
best.
much, Russell.
And all listen, I mean that sincerely, all of you. Your passion for what you do shows. That's why I think you guys are being successful. Okay?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, thank you so much, Russell. We so appreciate all of the kind words. And like I said, just, make sure you cash the check on Friday, okay?
Well, make sure you send the check on Friday, okay?
Okay,
So,
sounds like a plan.
well, you guys have a great night. I
All right,
got
thank
some things to do, and packing the family truckster early tomorrow morning. So.
Have fun and good
Good
luck.
luck.
with it.
Drive.
Thanks so
Russell.
much, Russell.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Yep.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always great to have Russell Baxter on the show. I'm trying to think. Sonya, what is his Twitter handle again? Baxter
gosh.
Guru.
I think it is.
Pro Football Guru. Oh, there you are, Russell. What is your Twitter handle? Before
Oh,
you
I'm
get out of
sorry.
here?
Dax Football Guru.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
That's
it.
Football Guru.
Dax Football Guru. I set a goal for my Twitter account to get to 40,000 by the time of the Super Bowl, and people have been great. So I might have to re-up the ante and make it 50,000 for Super Bowl 50. So
Well, definitely
Okay.
give him
I
a
like
follow
it.
out
Yes,
there in
give him
Twitter.
a
We're trying.
follow. We'll help you out there.
Listen, and it's for you guys know what I do on Twitter. It's a lot of history. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of good conversation.
Always
It's
great information.
Always good.
and it's very community oriented and so on. And we're not much for people who come on and kind of with a negative tone. If your offensive line is having any blocking problems, I can show you how to block. Just kidding.
Awesome. Thanks, Russell. Have a great
Thanks
evening.
so much, Russell.
Yeah.
All right, talk to you
Have a
soon.
good
Okay,
night.
bye-bye. All right, now, Kat, I've got to ask you,
Yes.
one of the big stories in the NFL the last couple of weeks, you know what I'm going for right here.
I know what you're going for.
Junior Galette, what's up, girl? Are you going to bad stuff coming out about him?
I mean, he had that arrest in January that I believe everything ended up being dropped. Nothing came of it. And then the video comes out of him hitting the woman with the belt, which he claims was not him. So allegedly.
Oh, of course.
Allegedly hitting.
It wasn't me. We should have some Shaggy playing.
Yeah.
Believe me, your lying eyes.
And then he goes on a Twitter rampage on his
Oh my
girlfriend's Twitter account.
God.
What? I mean, I feel the most bad for are his teammates. Like, you can blame the coach a little. I mean, blame the coach a little bit. He has a say in it.
Yeah.
Why are you? What did Drew Brees do to you?
Drew Brees. Who else? He went after Cam
Jordan.
Cam Jordan. Bad. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, it's tough. You got
Some
cut.
former Saints, which was just wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised he drew the line where he drew the line, but it was absurd that he.
Yeah.
Why he thought it would, how he got signed is kind of beyond me, but.
Exactly. At that point, that's when you're kind of wondering. And so obviously this was the best route for him to go, especially, you don't want that type of issue, especially since we've already had those types of issues, and we don't need to deal with that anymore.
You got to know at this point those actions are going to be really scrutinized.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's just surprising knowing that he was a captain. Like, to see someone go from the leader of the
And
of the
got that
defense.
extension and.
Yeah, he was I mean, I loved him as a player, but bro, these don't hit people. First off, it's probably
Right.
a great life lesson. And then
Yeah.
when you're caught doing it, own up immediately and don't go on a Twitter rampage.
Just saying.
Just saying, own up. Shine a lantern on your own problems. Like, stop doing these things.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick out the worst part of that Twitter rant, but what he had to say about Sean Payton was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad. I mean, going after a guy's personal life like that, and
and the offensive lineman too. Oh my
yeah,
God.
that was the worst one.
That was the worst
absolute. I'm like, you're kind of scum for doing that. I hate to say it. That's not cool.
It's totally not cool.
No.
Oh.
I feel so bad for that guy. Oh my God, that was just so wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard much about that, and then all of a sudden you see it on Twitter, you're like, oh my God, that's his
cool.
life. Don't call him fat and lazy. I mean, don't, but like, if you're gonna
don't.
don't, like,
Right.
come on.
That had to have broken some major codes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Totally. That's why he did it afterwards, because he wasn't going to do it while he was there, while he was a cat. No, he wasn't going to do that. He was going to do it after.
Yeah.
That obviously broke a code, and that's, I think, what he wanted to do and meant to do.
I mean, the sad part is that he didn't even have the gumption to do it from his own Twitter account. He had to, that's the
His
worst part
girlfriend.
of it. Like, your girlfriend's Twitter account. Like,
Right. Right.
Pull it. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go insane on Twitter, do it on your own.
Thank you.
It is
Thank you.
crazy. So what's been going on in New Orleans Saints camp? Give us a little brief update there.
I mean, I'm pretty excited. We've had some good things. I kind of was down on our first round pick, and it seems like he's having a little growing pains. Andrews Pete, some growing pains. But I mean, he's young, he's new. We got Stephon Anthony is doing everything coming out. He's really stepping up to play, really being a leader. But Delvin Chip Bro is my excitement there. He was he had broken, I'm blanking on the bone, neck, and then played in Canada for a while, and now he's back. He's really been lighting it up on the field, and I have my fingers crossed for the 53-man roster that he'll actually make it. I know it's a long process, but if he keeps going this way, it'll be amazing. It'll be great. Our defense is finally looking acceptable.
Not good, but just acceptable.
Acceptable. Let's not go crazy. I mean,
Exactly. That's a start.
Yeah,
Compared to the anomaly that was, let's hope, last year.
Yeah.
take acceptable, middle of the field. I will take it right now.
So what's the Saints' competition in the division? The NFC South had been a tough division until sort of last year, and then it was awful. And so what do you think?
I'm going to go with Carolina. I think is probably going to be. I think Cam Newton's a fantastic quarterback, and I think they picked up some good pieces. I think they're probably going to be the toughest competitor. Tampa, no, and and I'm not too concerned about Atlanta. I think it's going to be Carolina this year.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think I think so too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree, too. I think Carolina is probably most... See, we're supposed to have, some discord. We got the third person so we could disagree.
We're going to. We're just warming up now. This first show, we're pre-gaming tonight, baby. Just pre-gaming tonight.
Yeah, just wait until something actually happens. That's a little more.
We're going to get Trash Talk Tuesday going on real quick. First preseason game is this weekend. After that, it's game on, baby.
Game on, sister.
Exactly.
So, Sonya, give us a little update from Detroit Lions camp.
Lions camp. So we kind of got started a little late. I think did Titans camp get started too, just yesterday?
Mm-hmm. I think they're one of the later ones too.
I was about to say, yeah, we got started a little late. So it's only been a couple days. So far, everything's going pretty good. Let's see, our first round pick, Laken Tomlinson, they had him doing some first team reps on left guard, or at the left guard position, which I think is pretty cool because, he is a lineman and we need a good set of linemen this year. And so hopefully if he flourishes in that position, that'd be great. The other one that we're keeping an eye on, who I haven't heard too much about, but I got to look up, Amir Abdullah, our second round pick, who, hallelujah, very glad we took him in the second round. Joyke Bell, during the offseason kind of had his little, I'm going to rush for 1,200 yards this year, and if I don't, I'm going to be disappointed, blah, 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 whatever. But, of course, he starts on the pup. So.
Yeah, that was, I saw that, and I was like,
Exactly. And then people are like, well, but it could only just be for one practice. You never know. He was running some drills and stuff on the sidelines the past couple of days. So, I mean, that's good, but he has been kind of injury plagued. Hopefully, though, he will be coming around, but I don't think he's going to get his 1,200 yards like he thinks. Another person to kind of keep an eye on is Haloti Nada, who we got in the offseason for trade. And I think he is puppified as well.
Puppified.
I like that.
At least for now. I haven't heard too much more about that, but just going to kind of keep an eye on that situation because, as we all know, we lost Ndamukong Suh, whatever, but he was kind of supposed to replace him. I think it'd be a big, if he's not able to perform, the first couple, regular season games, I think that's going to be a big, huge hole in our defense. So, a situation to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. So what other camp battles are you ladies interested in? Russell Wilson got paid. Their wide receiver competition might be a
Yeah.
little interesting. We don't know exactly what to expect from the San Francisco 49ers. But
Not
hey,
at
the
all.
Arizona Cardinals, big, big, big news out of there. Let's talk a little bit about Jen Welter and
Yes.
being the first female to coach an NFL team or coach on an NFL team. How exciting is that,
That is
Sonia?
so awesome.
I was about to say that's really exciting. I think that it's obviously groundbreaking, and I think that it just it's awesome. I think I'm almost at the lack of words of how awesome it is. But I think that's just it's a testament to her willpower, her knowledge. I mean, just how much she's had to go through just in her past to be able to do all of this. And so I think that's just a huge testament. And hats off to Bruce Arians for hiring her as an intern. I think that's amazing, and I can't wait to see what cool stuff she does this year.
Yeah, it's very amazing. I didn't mean to cut you off, Kat. What were you going to say?
I like that it's not being handled as a gimmick. It's not like, oh, look at us, we're the first ones. She's legit there. Like, it's so awesome to see this and to see that, like, she's being appreciated and that she's being listened to, and they're not constantly being like, check out the girl, like, check her out. It's so awesome.
Look at the hot chick in the training room or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. I thought that it was extremely important as well that she's coming in just like everybody else through the Minority Coaching Internship Program, which has put a lot of new, different faces in the league. And you're right, she's not being given anything, but she's extremely awesome. We're going to see if we can't try to get her on the show.
I was about to say, we've tried to get her on a couple times, haven't we?
Have we?
I think we
Maybe
have.
we have.
I think we have, maybe once or twice. But we should for sure
again.
try and get it. Yeah. I think so. But I still think that's just really awesome. And, the fact that the players are respecting her, at least so far, I think that also speaks a lot to them, too. Because, it's a woman. And you know how these guys are, supposedly. So I think that the fact that they're, at least able to deal with it, I think, in a professional manner, I think that's pretty awesome, too.
Well, Kat's right. A lot of hard work, not just by Jen Welter, but by other women, have gone into making this opportunity available. I don't think 5 years the National Football League would have been ready for this.
No.
But a lot of brave, strong, smart women have stood up and have been saying for a long, long time that the NFL needed to do a better job, with women, women as a not just as a fan, a fan base to court, but as a talent pool to draw from, and I think that unfortunately some kind of bad things have, I think, helped spur that along. I wonder if we'd still be here. I almost hate to say this. You guys can feel free to check me if I'm wrong, but I mean, if the Ray Rice situation hadn't happened and there hadn't been, this big upcry and, the face of what women do have to go through, I don't know if we'd still be here or not. I really don't.
I think yes and no. I think yes, because the Ray Rice situation, I think, put women in a whole new light in a way, as actual educated fans who pay attention and know what's going on. So I think that, but I also kind of think that in a way, somehow the NBA kind of had to play with it as well.
Yes, absolutely.
With Becky Hammond. I think that kind of, I think that kind of spurred it as well. So
and Michelle Roberts as the head of the MBPA, being, and I had to think about it because it's a little bit different. And let's not forget Sarah Thomas last season, the first female to be hired in an officiating position.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think all those kind of helped open and pave the way and just, make it more possible for Dr. Welcher to be able to coach the Arizona Cardinals. I love it.
A lot of strides for women lately. It's so exciting to me. So welcome to see, all of this renewed attention and all the opportunities that are, and we should mention, I hope I don't get her name wrong, Beth Mowen, who I did not know but had, I think, already assisted with some play calling for the Oakland Raiders, just got her contract renewed and is going to be one of the play-by-play announcers for the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, cool.
In the preseason.
Cool.
How exciting.
That is awesome.
That's very cool. That is. And I almost think that that's probably a bigger I think that in a way is a bigger accomplishment because now she's being broadcast to people. And, so that people actually will hear her take and hear, what she has to say and be the play-by-play announcer. Whereas, Jen Welcher she's not necessarily going to be heard or, seen by the masses. So I think that's a huge thing too.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's nice to see the respect that she's not just a pretty face on the sideline that is going to have the fluff questions to the coach. Not disrespecting, honestly, it's important, but they're giving that's like a man's world to be the play-by-play. It's very cool that we're going to be able to turn on the TV and hear a woman doing it. That's amazing.
I know. And hopefully the first of many opportunities for other women out there to to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that would
Fingers
be cool.
crossed.
Where do I send my
really? Where do I send my resume? I called a football game once, and now, granted, it was a college all-star game, but still.
Pretty.
That was
very
good.
exciting.
That was amazing. I was very proud of Rona when she did that. It was very cool. So what about the Titans? Tell us about the Titans.
Well, obviously the big news for them is Marcus Mariota, and so far, knock on wood, I guess, he hasn't thrown an interception in training camp, whereas Jameis Winston's throwing them left and right. And, so that's kind of the comparison that you're getting, but it's early. I mean, it's so early in training camp. It's overreaction time. So
just like Russell was saying.
But that's kind of the big thing. What did you think about Russell Wilson's new contract, Kat? And let's start with you.
Honestly, I guess pay him. I'm not too sure about it. I have so little respect for him, I'm going to be honest. I don't like him as a quarterback. I don't like him. I know he has the skill, but something about him and his playing style rubs me the wrong way, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
Wow, explain.
Yeah.
I wish I could. It's so bad. You know how you just watch someone play and you're just like, I wouldn't want you to be my team's leader? There's an energy to him on the field I just don't like.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we do have our edge now. I'm excited.
It's the most undefinable thing, but I actually get hackles up when I'm watching him play. He is just he's not my guy. I guess you have to pay him though, because he's Russell Wilson.
Is it because what he's done to the Saints?
Well, I mean,
well.
It's that Monday Night Football game, 2 seasons ago, where they went up to Seattle and he lit them up.
I was about to say they got lit all.
They did.
Yeah, I feel like I very much take these things personally.
I think Brees had 17 offensive yards or something like it. It was bad.
Crazy.
I mean, as I was saying earlier with Drew Brees, I am either his biggest fan. I will go to the mat for him, or I'm get rid of him, cut him. It's time for someone new. But I mean, I think you can't say that Russell Wilson didn't earn the deal he got. He earned it.
Right.
Regardless of how I feel about him.
It will be interesting to see what happens this year. But, franchise quarterbacks, guys that you think can be, that guy, don't come around very often. And so I guess that you have to, if you've got something that's close to it, that you think that's either it or close to it, because I mean, look, Andy Dalton,
Mm-hmm.
Alex Smith got his contract. For God's sake, they're even talking about extending Eli Manning up in New York, which
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
not understand at all.
I mean, I guess you win 2 Super Bowls,
Right?
I guess, but at the same time,
What have you done for me lately?
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
He is way on the hot seat this year. Way on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Russell did deserve the money, and he did deserve the contract. So good for him. And but I just think overall, I wonder how long it's going to be that way in Seattle. And just because you can't pay everybody, and God bless their wide receivers, they're good, but I don't know. I think they just need a little bit more. But how do you sign more when you've got so much money locked up in who you've got it locked up in? And not saying that they don't need to, because they do. But as Bobby Wagner tweeted out, you can't pay everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I think everybody's really excited about Tyler Lockett, and apparently he's looked really good in camp. So there's some excitement there. Obviously, they've got Jimmy Graham, but you're right. I think Pro Football Talk had a little blurb that like the Seahawks had a gazillion dollars in like 10 of their players.
mhm.
And it is really hard to sustain that success when you're paying out contracts like that.
I mean, I think you can see that. Jimmy Graham's a perfect example. You could see that with the Saints, how much we had to get, how many players we had to get rid of, it starts affecting it when you pay out the monster player. And then Jimmy Graham had, I think the Lions held him to no catches last season, and I don't remember the other team. Yeah, you did. And the other team, 0 catches. All of a sudden, this player, you put all of your eggs in his basket, and what are you going to do? You're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's way too early, but let's make some way too early Super Bowl predictions. I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
In the NFC, it's the Green Bay Packers. Go, Pack, go. Aaron Rodgers is healthy. Their defense, it sounds like they're maybe making some strides there. They've got all kinds of offensive weapons, young guys, and some great veterans, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, around Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that. I mean, Seattle was able to sustain that success, 2 years in a row. But I mean, what did they? We'll see. We'll see how we'll see what they do, and then the AFC. I don't think it's Denver. I think that it has to be. I mean, you have to think that the Patriots are going to be extremely tough again. Can the Colts finally do it? Andrew Luck and the Colts, can they finally do it? Maybe it's the Baltimore Ravens year. We need to get Gwen on here and talk to her. So I don't know. What do you think? Who is it in the AFC? What are your picks?
Kat, go ahead.
I'm gonna go AFC. I think I'm gonna go Colts. I would say Patriots, but we don't know how the Brady suspension is gonna work out. And honestly, I know it's only 4 games. That doesn't rule you out of the Super Bowl by any means. But that can completely throw a team stride off. I think this might be Andrew Luck's year. I think it's going to happen for him, or at least to make it. I don't think he'll win, but I think at least to make it.
All right.
In the AFC, if Jimmy Garoppolo comes out and plays lights out, I have no reason to think that it's not going to be the Patriots. I think, if he does well and, maybe just loses a game or 2, and then you're going to have pissed off Tom Brady coming back, throwing darts. I just have a strange feeling it would be the Patriots. In the NFC, I still have a hard time not seeing the Seattle Seahawks. I really do. I mean, they've lost a few, but they've kind of tinkered things around, and they have that chip on their shoulder mentality. I have a hard time saying it's not going to be the Seattle Seahawks again. But I could be wrong.
I think it's Packers or Seahawks. I think there's a good argument for both, but you know what, my heart goes Packers. If I had to choose one, I think I would. I mean, obviously, I want to say Saints, but I'm going to say Packers. Possibly, I would not be surprised. And if they can get it together, I think a dark horse would be the Panthers, actually.
Okay.
A dark horse.
Or maybe even the Cardinals. And let's not count out the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
if
no.
Carson Palmer can stay
they've been
healthy and isn't throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
They've been right there.
Exactly.
And I just can't say the Packers. I mean, I really can because they pretty much had the Seahawks again, on the ropes last year. And
That's true.
had they not melted down, it would have been Patriots Packers.
Yeah.
So I kind of do feel that way, and I think maybe we did get a peek at, the Seahawks' weaknesses. They're still tough in Seattle, but I did think we did get a peek at their weaknesses. So it's just hard for me to say the Packers. Let's just say that.
Well, it will be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It will be.
Should be a very, very, very good deal. All right, a little bit of a programming note. Next week, fingers crossed, hopefully we're going to be coming to you guys via Spreecast, which is a new broadcasting tool. And if we're able to get that going, you will be able to interact with us live on the NFL Female website. Again, www.nflfemale.com. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, again, that will be what we will be using for the next show or two. We're going to be trying that out and see how we like that. If we like it, we're going to be moving to Spreecast. So we'll keep you guys posted on that, and as well as what great guests we're going to bring in. But it's going to be the fabulous trio, regardless.
Yes. So get used to us, people.
That's right.
Oh, goodness. So glad to have you on, Kat. I think this is going to be great.
Yes.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
I do too. Remember.
Oh, yep. Yes. So this will be great. So it's going to be a good season, guys. And as always, it's just that preseason optimism that you have, The Lions are going to make it all the way. They're going all the way. There's no stopping them.
Ain't no stopping us now.
We're on the move. That's right. But we all know that it can't happen. So
well, who knows? You know
exactly.
What? It might just.
It could just. This could be the year that Stafford, he's a married man now.
Yeah.
It could work.
Focus.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm just going to say, God, I love the Free Press, but they really devoted a lot of time to Matthew Stafford and his wedding.
Oh,
and
yeah?
Yes, they really did. I was really surprised. Like, a lot of times it was their honeymoon and, posting pictures on Instagram, like their Instagram pictures of their honeymoon. I'm like, really, guys? There's other stuff going on. But no, they were really, really involved. But that's just a side note.
That's very interesting.
All right. Well,
it always goes by fast.
I know it does. So fast, especially today.
An hour string of going live, giggling, and singing is unbroken.
Yay!
So that's always good.
So we will see you guys next week. Why don't we go around, tell everybody where we can find you. We'll start with you, Kat, since you're our newest.
Yay. You can find me at Lash-Williams. That's K Lash like an eyelash, and then Williams like Williams. That would be my Twitter handle.
Yes, people, we have Kat Williams.
The real Kat Williams.
The real
Kat Williams is here with us, people. So spread the word.
Tell everyone Kat Williams is on the show.
Exactly. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I'm Sonya. I'm the NFL females reporter for the Detroit Lions. You can find me on Twitter at mom, the number 2, the number 3, RN. And yeah, so that's it. Sharona.
All right. Well, I am Sharona, and I am the official NFL reporter for NFL Female. Again, be sure to check out our website, www.nflfemale.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona. Shout out to Liz again for everything that she does and for this wonderful opportunity. Have a very pleasant evening. We'll be back next week, hopefully on Spreecast with another great show. So thanks for tuning in. You've been watching the Zone Blitz by NFL Female.